Well, time for another video. So I believe I did say that I was going to um, show off my Xbox after I put it all back together. Well, that was a while ago, but I just put it back together again because I was only able to get three out of the five like long screws. You know that once you take the bottom off, you would take off like these big five or six, like about this long, like a T or like star screws, whatever, or torque screws, whatever. Um, I was only gonna get three out of the five in there, and then I realized if I, squeeze together the case, it would make contact with the top of it, and I'd be able to screw it in. Well, the fifth screw I wasn't able to get in. Something was blocking it. And I'm just like, all right, four out of five is close enough, and it honestly wasn't that. It wasn't bulging very much, so everything went better. Went pretty well. So there it is. Try to focus in on it. Turn off the light. So as you can see, it's pretty nice and bright. It cools, at least I consider it cools better than the original, and everything's pretty kosher. The other thing that I did, and I'm not so happy about, is my power brick. Yes, there is a fan on the outside, and I know I don't have a fan grid, or what do you call it, grid? Fan grill, grid. Like a fan protector, like a fan guard on it or something. But again, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not exactly sure about it, and the reason why is that it doesn't spin very fast. I'll just see if it does it. Turn my Xbox off. It did do it once, which really surprised me. I just figured I could improve the fan, because if you take a look at the original, just hold on, turn my light off. If you take a look at the original, it's pretty freaking small. Now I realize that it may be more than that, like the way they design the airways inside the brick and things like that, because it looks like it fires out the back here, and I see the way it's designed. Like there are these three like they look like pieces of metal, and they absorb heat, like heat sinks. That's what I thought they were. So then the air would go over those. Like it was kind of designed like that, but again, brick gets pretty hot, even in a cool basement like this, going under 70 degrees. It can get pretty loud at times. It's one of the quieter revisions, I believe, but regardless, I figured I could improve it, and I've seen a few people do it over the internet, and they're just like, "Yep, I did this, 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 and everything's great." Well, then I tried it, and let's see if. Let's take a look. I'm gonna turn my Xbox on. Oh, come on. See, there you go. You see that twitch a bit, but it's not moving. If I go like that, it'll spin. Now, what I believe is that it requires more voltage when it powers up, but then when it, settles down, it needs probably about half. So it's not going to spin the fan. It's not going to spin it up right when it starts up. But then if you give it a bit of a push, it'll go on its own. But it's not spinning very fast, as if you can see, which it looks pretty much the same from the camera and my personal view. So I've pretty much just kept it on idle. I haven't played any games yet on it, which I'm not too afraid if I have to ditch this whole idea. But this is the fan that I bought. It's probably one of the nicer ones out there. Let's see if it'll focus. So, I just simply wired it in there, black on black, red on red, and that's the only two that were actually being wired to the original fan. They were black and red, hot and ground. So, I don't exactly understand. I mean, I've been able to dig up some specs. Obviously, that uses it claims it uses zero point 0.2 amperage versus the original fan, which uses 0.16, and that uses like 0.24 watts. I don't know about the original. They're both 12-volt fans. I'm not in like in electronics or engineering or anything like that. I'm computer science, but I don't know much about any of that. So I don't know if anyone else knows like what the deal is. In that respect, I don't know what I'm doing. So I was just kind of hoping it would work. But I do realize that world doesn't run on magic. So obviously, if it's it's not supposed to work, it's not supposed to work. But I also just thought maybe it's like maybe because I have the maybe that fan's pulling a little bit more power, but then again, in some of the tutorials, they had put in like a 120 millimeter fan, or they'd put in a huge fan, they'd done, as much or more than I did. So, when I was trying to put my Xbox, again, back together just now to make it a little bit more, put an extra screw in, I actually disconnected the fan, disconnected the DVD drive, and disconnected the Wi-Fi, and just decided to turn it on, and it still wouldn't kick in by itself. So, but then when I put it all back together and then kicked it back on, the fan spun up by itself, but it's not spinning very fast, so I don't know what to say. I guess if it never overheats, I don't really care, but then again, I kind of do wish it would cool a little bit better than the original. That was kind of the idea. I mean, that's why I didn't go for any LEDs, but then again, it kind of stands out. I don't think it's ugly. I think it's just kind of cool. Like, it's just like, this is better, this is different than the original. You actually modified it, but, I thought we did a pretty good job cutting out the hole and, creating the mounts and everything, like, pretty near perfect job of that. So anyway, I also had something about my little achievement hunt here, and I kind of strayed away from Mass Effect for a while, but I went to Resident Evil again. I also went to Modern Warfare. I did a little Halo 3 ODST. Did a little boosting in Halo 3 by myself, of course. MW2, I was able to get all the achievements for that with some help from friend Alex, other Alex, not Effie Walshy, kid in Painful Death. I was going a little bit for Battlefield 3. Halo Wars is officially broken, so that didn't go anywhere. So, but yeah, I just got this feel just to go start playing Resident Evil 5 again, and I just went all out, and also help from him again on that one. So, I don't know. I mean, right now I broke 14,000 gamer score. Yeah, 14,000. So I'm still going. Still working at it. I'm trying to get a high completion percentage rather than like a lot of gamer score. Like I'd like to have like in the 70s or 80s. It's just like a goal, just to be cool and whatnot. So anyway, I'm still trying to get a Halo gameplay. I'm terrible at the game. I feel like I'm better at Call of Duty, which is sad, and I hate that game so much because it's just such a ugh. I'd almost like to create a separate commentary on how much and use a Halo gameplay just to be ironic about how pathetic and how badly designed COD is. But then again, that's old news. So anyway, that's it for now. Peace, guys. Thanks for watching.